Hey YouTube. So someone else asked for an album request and they asked for a Boris album, so I was going to review their newest album. It's called Smile. Now this is the American edition. It was released in 2008 on Southern Lord Records. And I think there's either a Japanese or a European edition that has the songs in a different order and has a different kind of mix of songs. Some of the songs have different song titles and the artwork's different. Like on the other version, it's all kind of brown orange with like a darker heart color, the same colors, just darker in the middle, and it's heart shaped. This is the Southern Lord version. It's got kind of cool artwork too. It's got all these kind of jets and planes crashing over a city, stealth bombers. There's a NASA rocket. It's got all this kind of chaotic battlefield, city landscape kind of stuff going on. Boris is a experimental metal rock band from Tokyo, Japan. They were formed in 1992, I believe. I think this is like their 18th album, some big number like that. They have a huge catalog of stuff, and they love exploring, like I said, they're experimental, and they love exploring like all the different aspects and possibilities of like rock music, experimental music, stoner rock. They do psychedelic, they do drone, they do doom, they do thrash metal, and that could be all in one song. Like this, like for example, song 1 on here is called Flower Sun Rain, and it starts off like almost in mid riff, it's just loud, fuzzy going, and then it stops on a dime and goes into this like kind of different kind of ballad song, like a classic rock ballad, but the vocals are really up in the front and all the band stuff is really far in the mix. Like it's really quiet and the vocals take over the song and stuff, and it's this soft ballad. And this album's full of that. It's full of these like weird dynamics. Like they'll have all this like, you know, lush, cool classic rock melodies, and then they'll stop on a dime and do like abrasive noise or like stoner rock. These guys are big fans of like that stoner metal sound too. They love to like get all weirded up and psych out and stuff, but they're not so weird that they're like you wouldn't want to listen to them. Like they're not inaccessibly weird. They know how to write a good riff. Their drummers are really good, and they've been around it long enough so they know how to make a great record. I've read that this is one of their more accessible albums, but it's also one of their most creative too. It's one of their most diverse, and it is, I agree, it's really diverse to listen to. Like they'll have all these long jams and drone things that'll move into this like cool little ballad and ambient music and stuff like that. Really crazy stuff. There's guitar solos on here and all kinds of like cool drum virtuoso parts and stuff like that. And they're nice enough, even though like all the singing is in Japanese, they have the lyrics in English so you can actually know what they're talking about. But yeah, I don't even notice half the time that like, I notice it's in Japanese, but it doesn't bother me, like, you know, not that it should, but it's cool to listen to. Like even if you're thinking like, oh, I can't listen to anything, I don't know what they're singing about, like how I feel about Rammstein and stuff like that back in the day. This doesn't have any detractions like that. You can just listen to music and just what they're doing and all the psychedelic, fuzzy, noisy rock out jams they're putting out. It'll just blow your mind. It's very heavy, and it's also very soft at the same time. I heard it's one of their albums with the most singing on it too. Like it's one of the vocal albums. Some dudes are calling it online. Stephen O'Malley actually plays on the last track, song 8, and it's untitled. And I guess that song's like 60 minutes long, but those guys are good friends. He owns Southern Lord Records. But yeah, Boris is a really good band. I'd recommend them to anybody who's into like experimental metal, experimental rock, just who enjoy listening to like accomplished musicians and stuff like that. People like to push the boundaries and move into new dimensions, new ideas, new terrain, sonic terrain and stuff like that. Fans of the Melvins will like this. I recommend this to pretty much anybody who's into metal at all or hard rock. Should at least give this a listen once, you know. It's got tons of ideas, tons of cool songs. The songs change tempo, change gears all the time. They're all over the map, but it's not like spazzy and frantic. It's just like some parts are fast and furious, and they'll go to these slow like melodies, like I said, do these like ballads and shit. But really cool album. 2008, Boris. The album's called Smile. It was released on Southern Lord Records, and it rules.